Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. I was asked by a member to do a little recruitment report on Darko Gyabi. So let's hit it. Cardiff City are in rebuild again. This time it's different. It feels different. There's a direction. There's a philosophy. There's a man at the helm that should and can be trusted. But crucially, he knows what he wants. Brian Barry Murphy's style, controlled, technical, possession focused, but also you need press resistant midfielders, smart thinkers, powerful movers. And that kind of brings us nicely on to today's subject, Darko Gyabi. Out of contract soon, on the fringes at Leeds, a Manchester City graduate. Tall, athletic, elegant on the ball. At only 20 years old, he's on the edge of needing to turn that promise into presence. That presence, could it be at Cardiff City? I mean, let's break it down. Let's strap in. Let's look at the stats, the style, the personality, and any potential for a deal. This is the recruitment report, and we are going deep on Darko Gyabi. Welcome back to the channel. As always, we are talking Cardiff City 7 days a week, and of course we like to have a little look at players who may potentially join the club, who maybe the club should look at, and Darko Gyabi is no different. But who is Darko Gyabi? Let's start with the basics. Name Darko Gyabi, age 26'4", central midfielder, born in contract ends in 2025 as per transfer market. So as we speak, technically out of contract as of yesterday. Parent club Leeds United, previously came through the Manchester City Academy, and of course was on loan from January last year. Gyabi joined Leeds in July 2022 for about 5 million as part of the Calvin Phillips to Manchester City deal. Leeds saw him as a high ceiling investment, but his game time has been fairly limited over that period. But an impressive loan spell at Plymouth definitely helped, and he's shown tremendous glimpses of power, quality, and many more skills. But it's a critical contract for him. He's 20 years old, out of contract, probably not in Leeds' long-term plans, although that might change, we don't know. Potentially could be available for a nice, smart and timely move. Gyabi, the physical and technical package. Gyabi, 6'4", strong upper body, long stride. He moves like a modern number 6. Got a bit of the Patrick Vieira's around him. He's upright but fluid. I wouldn't say he's a destroyer, but he can tackle. And again, then he's not a playmaker, but he can play. It's an interesting one. He's a big boy, doesn't panic on the ball. And when you look at his loan at Plymouth in, I think it was 23-24 actually, but he had a pass accuracy of like 87.3%, progressive passes per 90 minutes of 5.98, touches per 90 minutes 66.5 on average. In terms of dribbles completed in the per 90 minutes over the season, 1.49. Progressive carries per 90 minutes, 6.2. Tackles and interceptions in the per 90, 3.34. Won also just under 60% of his aerial duels. Carrying it into the final third was about 1.84 per 90. He is smooth in tight spaces. An excellent first touch that you'd expect from that Manchester City education. And whilst he's not a goal scorer, he does drive into spaces and he does punch through the lines. Back at City, he was seen as kind of like Yaya Toure light. He was seen as maybe having the potential to be that type of player, but realistically he's not that much of a goal threat. Not much of a goal threat. That can come as he matures and he gets older and he reads the game better. But it was how he moved and controlled space that really caught the eye for those Manchester City coaches. So why would Brian Barry Murphy want him at Cardiff City? Well, I think, look, if you look at it very quickly, Brian Barry Murphy, what is his midfielders, what is he going to look for in terms of traits and skill set and attributes? He wants them to be able to receive the ball under pressure. He wants them to be able to carry the ball at certain points, 10, 15, 20 yards. He wants to be able to stay calm in pressure situations, tight spaces. He needs to be able to they need to be able to connect the play from back to front. And let me tell you something, right? Not very often I say this. Darko Gyabi ticks every single one of those boxes. In a 4-3-3, he could sit at a base. He could be that number 6. In a 4-2-3-1, he can be a bit more progressive as half of a double pivot. You can imagine the combinations: a Gyabi, Robertson, Colwell, a Gyabi, Wintle, Colwell. It's just endless. Even setting in alongside Eli King, if Eli progresses into the first team this year, he will help you build without panic. He will be brave and ask for the ball when under pressure. He invites that pressure and then he'll drop a shoulder or he'll spin away and he'll start the attack. That's exactly the way that Brian Barry Murphy likes to play. Darko Gyabi's almost tailored for it. In terms of the tactical fit, the midfield blueprint, if you like, of Brian Barry Murphy, I think there's a couple of options. You've got option 1, you've got the single pivot in a 4-3-3. This is a real progressive way of playing and a real exciting way to play, but it's so important you get the right balance in midfield because you can get overrun. And this happened to Cardiff a couple of times last year when we tried to play with a single pivot. We didn't have the right personnel in the single pivot position or in the number 6 position, and that led to just being played through quite consistently. So it's important that we then find the right people. So let's look at that though. The single pivot, they need to be able to receive the ball from the centre backs. They need to be able to break lines with passes, but also by carrying the ball. They need to be able to protect the back four, and they need to be able to connect and control the tempo of the game. Then you look at a 4-2-3-1. Maybe the left side of a double pivot for Gyabi. He needs to be able to offer progressive ball movement. He needs to be able to link defence to attack. He would need to be able to recycle the possession, and he would need to be able to cover the space in the left channel if the fullback or the wingers are out of position. In either role, Gyabi fits that tactical structure because he gives a certain level of control, fluidity and presence. He is young, but he's definitely got some skills. Why don't we have a little data deep dive and look at his passing, his carrying, his defending? And when you look at those passing stats straight away, passing accuracy 87.3%, short passes 92%, long passes 74% is high, progressive passes just under 6 per 90, final third passes 4.6 per 90, key passes 0.81, so just under 1 key pass per game. For number 6, I'm okay with that. Progressive distance 204 meters per 90 minutes. So that is impressive immediately, those passing stats. But let's look at the carrying stats. His progressive carries are average on 6.2 per 90 minutes. His carries into the final third are 1.84 per 90. Dribbling completed 1.49. Success rate 72%. Touches on average 62.5 per 90 minutes. Nice. Defensive side of things, he averages 3.34 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, 7.8 ball recoveries per 90 minutes, 12.6 pressures per 90 minutes, and then you look at his duels, his aerial duels, 58.2%. His average duel rate win is 53.7. So he isn't elite defensively, but he is solid, and he'll improve with maturity and experience. The more tactically proficient he becomes defensively, the better player he will become. Because from a positional sense, he's really good. Maybe he needs to be a bit more aggressive, but he's definitely physical enough, and he's a big lad to hold his own. And then as always, we like to have a look at the personality of a player in these reports. We like to look at who is Darko Gyabi off the ball, off the pitch. And seemingly no ego. Very humble, intelligent guy. Manchester City coaches rated him really highly for his discipline. The Leeds staff say he's a quiet guy, goes about his business. He's been described as coachable, thoughtful, and serious about getting better to be the best version of himself. He's not loud, but he is respected. He's captain England at youth level for a reason. At Plymouth, the coaches praised that he was very adaptable and very versatile. No issues off the field so far. He trains hard, he takes feedback. They're all green flags for any club, but particularly Brian Barry Murphy. But we don't want to just go, oh, he's great, he's great, he's great. Like, everybody's got the pros and the cons. So let's look at those pros and cons and look at the full Darko Gyabi package, as it were. The pros: he's press resistant, he's a progressive passer, very strong physical frame, he's versatile tactically, he's knowledgeable tactically. There's a massive upside to him from a development point of view because of his age and his attitude. And he ticks a lot of boxes for Brian Barry Murphy in terms of what the manager will be looking for from a number 6. If you look at some of the cons, probably hasn't played as many senior minutes as we'd like, but I don't think it's a massive issue. He's not an out-and-out destroyer or ball winner, but that will get better with time because he's got the physicality side of it. Probably needs to make a decision on whether he's going to be a 6 or an 8 over the next few years and really define his role in his career. And I think you'd need him plus another option. Maybe that's Ryan Wintle, maybe that's Eli King, Joel Colwell, or someone else. But I think he's definitely an interesting option. If we were able to pick him up, you want to make sure you've got the appropriate add-ons and clauses in there so that we don't end up losing him in a year or so for next to nothing. But let's talk about that. How difficult would a deal be? If his contract is up, as it says on transfer marketplace, he's out of contract now. They value him at around $1.5 million. But if he's a free contract and he's not in Leeds' plan, they're not going to offer him a deal. I think it's definitely worth a punt with Cardiff. I'm not completely sure if he's free, and it seems to vary on different sites. I think Leeds might have an option on him, but they still might be open to a loan or a loan with an obligation to buy, maybe. Either way, I think this is a guy from an age point of view, from a skill set point of view, and from an attitude point of view, which very much fits what Cardiff are looking for, what the manager is looking for, and what the fans will love. Brian Barry Murphy's Manchester City links obviously matter. Gyabi knows the style, he knows the standards that Brian Barry Murphy will expect, and if he wants minutes, good coaching, and a clear role, Cardiff City is probably an ideal fit for him. So it feels like a very doable deal, and potentially it could be the signing that transforms Cardiff's midfield. So when we round it all up into like a little bit of a final conclusion, okay, is he worth it? Well, I thought when he played against us, he was absolutely phenomenal. He absolutely tore our midfield apart. Darko Gyabi, for me, is exactly the type of profile of player that we should be looking for and that we need. He is young. He is a resale value. Technically excellent. Press resistant. Very coachable. Has a presence physically. Reads the game really well. And has the potential to become even more dominant as he matures and his physicality and aggression comes through. If Cardiff City want to build around Brian Barry Murphy's philosophy and manager and his tactics, his system, this is the type of signing that, in my opinion, is essential. Of course there's risk. There's always risk with any sort of signing or appointment. But there is a huge ceiling to this guy. It isn't just a random gamble. He's got a bit of experience at championship level. It's targeted, it's data-driven, stat-driven, but it's the eye test. This is system-fit recruitment. This is a guy that addresses issues in Cardiff City's squad, and it seems that he would be gettable at least. Gyabi isn't just a midfield option. He's someone who you can build a midfield around. If the deal is right, Cardiff City should absolutely go for him for me. It's just my opinion. I always want to hear your opinion. Look, he's not a finished article, but that's kind of the point. Brian Barry Murphy and Cardiff City are going to build a squad. They're building a system. They're building a culture. They're building a future. So Darko, Gyabi, he may be a part of it. I really appreciate you guys joining me as always. I always enjoy digging into these players, and even in a very, very busy week, it's been real cool. And Darko Gyabi in particular was interesting. I'd like to know what you guys think. Like, do you think he's a good signing? Would you prefer to have Ryan Wintle as the number 6? Would you like to see the both of them fight it out? Would you like to see Wintle and Eli King moved on and let's bring in like a Darko Gyabi and a Charlie Crew and really have a young midfield? I'm interested. Let me know in the comments. Give me that context always, not just a yes or no. Give me your opinion. It's what we want. This is Cardiff City World. I'm Si. We do Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Most days now, a video in lunchtime, live show or another longer show in the evening. It's by fans. We're all Cardiff City fans. Authentic, real. We've all got opinions. We welcome your opinions. As long as you frame it in a respectful way, knobhead, even if you disagree with us, it's all good. We appreciate you guys so much, and most importantly, please do like, share, subscribe, tell your mates, spread the word about Cardiff City World. We really want to hit the unrealistic target of getting to 2,000 subscribers before the start of the season. We're not probably going to do it. It's way outrageous to get like 500 extra subscribers in a couple of months, but we're going to try. So please help us, push it, spread the word, tell your friends, all that good stuff. And if you'd like to go that extra mile to support what we do, then please become a member. You can join on the Cardiff City World YouTube channel, or you can join through patreon.com/acepodcastnation. It's the price of a coffee per month, but it not only does it give you like a load of rewards and you get early access to live event tickets and all these different things, but it allows us to produce content for you guys 7 days a week. That's the most important thing. Every single member makes a huge difference. I cannot tell you how much difference every time a member comes in. That is massive, absolutely massive. I appreciate you guys so much. I'd say this: be patient with the transfers, keep the faith, and I'll see you in a bit.